There's a revolution happening right now. But it's not happening in some tech lab in Silicon Valley. Nope, it's taking root in the soil right under our feet, and it's being powered by artificial intelligence. So let's dive into the story of how AI is completely transforming one of humanity's oldest and most important industries, farming.
And look, this isn't some far-off science fiction fantasy. For farmers like Jamal Harrison in South Carolina, this is today's reality. It's about putting incredible data-driven expertise right into the hands of the people who feed the world, making their incredibly tough job, well, a whole lot smarter.
So, you might be asking, why this huge shift and why now? Well, it's because modern agriculture is facing a perfect storm of crises. Everything from a wild, changing climate to a shrinking workforce. And it's pushing the old ways of doing things to their absolute limit. The stakes, they've honestly never been higher.
Just think about the sheer scale of the challenge we're looking at. The United Nations figures that to feed a global population that's going to blow past 8.2 billion people, we need to grow over 60% more food by the year 2050. And, get this, we have to do it all while using fewer resources.
Farmers are right there on the front lines. They're battling weather that gets more erratic every year, a serious shortage of skilled labor, a mountain of complex regulations, paper-thin profit margins, and on top of it all, the degradation of the very soil they rely on. It's a massive challenge coming at them from every single direction.
But in the face of all this pressure, a new era is dawning. It's one where data, intelligence, and connectivity are becoming the most important tools on the farm. So welcome to the age of the smart farm.
Now, this new era, it builds on everything that came before it. First, we had mechanization, the tractor. Then the Green Revolution brought us chemicals and genetic innovation. The 21st century gave us GPS and digital mapping. But today's revolution, it's a different beast entirely. It's not just about collecting data anymore, it's about interpreting that data to make smarter, faster decisions.
And that leads us to this core idea, precision farming. It's a fundamental shift in how we think. So instead of treating a huge 100-acre field as just one single thing, AI lets farmers see it as, say, a million individual little plots. And each one has its own unique needs. What does that mean? It means every single plant gets exactly what it needs, right when it needs it. No more and no less.
And this right here is the absolute key. Let's be really clear about this. AI is not about replacing the farmer's hard-earned wisdom. It's about augmenting it. It's about giving them a new set of eyes, a whole new level of insight that amplifies their instincts and their experience. It's a true collaboration between human intuition and artificial intelligence.
All right, so that's the big picture, but what does this actually look like in practice? Out there in the dirt and the dust. Let's get into some real-world examples of AI at work on the farm.
I want you to think of it this way. How exactly does AI give a farmer a kind of sixth sense? How does it let them see problems before they're even visible to the naked eye, and let them make decisions with a level of confidence that was just impossible before?
Okay, let's take water, probably a farmer's most precious resource. Before, you'd maybe irrigate on a fixed schedule, but now AI uses data from satellites and sensors to know the precise moisture level of every single square foot of soil. It calculates exactly what's needed, and it waters only that specific spot, automatically. The result? Well, case studies like the McAllen Co-op down in Texas show water use being cut by a staggering 38%.
And it's not just about crops. At a place called Golden Prairie Dairy in Wisconsin, they have biometric sensors on the cows that feed data to an AI. And this system can pick up on the super subtle signs of illness up to 72 hours. That's 3 full days before a person could. This leads to a 38% drop in antibiotic use and an incredible 61% reduction in emergency vet calls. That's better for the animals, and it's way better for the farm's bottom line.
This revolution also signals a really fundamental shift in the very nature of farm labor. It's a move away from relying purely on human and machine muscle and towards leveraging the incredible power of the microchip.
And that's exactly what Logan Price over at Red Rock Fields experienced. He had autonomous harvesters, guided by AI, working around the clock. He wasn't stuck in a cab for 14 hours a day. He was a fleet manager, overseeing the entire operation right from his phone. This is how farming is starting to solve its critical labor shortage.
But wait, the impact of AI doesn't just stop at the edge of the field. Oh no, it's transforming the entire business of farming, from the back office all the way to the final sale.
The difference is just night and day.
The traditional farm office, it's often buried under mountains of paperwork, a ton of guesswork, and just reacting to problems as they pop up. The AI-powered farm office, though, is predictive, and it's automated. Pricing is based on real market analysis, compliance reports are generated instantly, and marketing is targeted with laser precision.
So what this means is that platforms like CCA 365 are providing this full suite of business tools. We're talking about AI that can forecast profits, analyze price trends, and even automate social media to help farms sell directly to you and me. It's a complete business overhaul, and it's all driven by data. And this is where it gets really, really powerful. Michael Green's farm in North Carolina used an AI to write a grant proposal, which is normally this tedious, super complex process. The AI analyzed all the requirements, pulled the farm's data, and it crafted a winning proposal that secured critical funding. That is an absolute game changer.
So, when we put all these pieces together, from the soil to the sensors, all the way to the sales, what is the ultimate promise of this AI-driven green revolution? What kind of future are we actually cultivating here?
You know, when it comes right down to it, it all boils down to these three critical things. Adaptability, to thrive in the face of a changing climate. Sustainability, to protect our planet for the next generation. And profitability, to make sure that the hardworking families who grow our food can not only survive, but actually prosper.
Which brings us right back to our central question. Is this incredible wave of technology here to replace the timeless wisdom of the farmer? Or have we finally created the tools to amplify that wisdom, forging a powerful new partnership between human experience and artificial intelligence? The answer to that is not only going to determine the future of farming, but the future of how we feed our entire world.